in this map. Someone please carry us through, and then I'll get right back into it in the next half. Comms like that, you love to hear from a team that had so much trouble finding the right ingredients around
Kalian pegang perek apa Genji, guys?
Okay, well, Forsaken bringing that right to territory.
Kenapa? Karena ada Susanto ya.
He's a bit of that utility. Spotting up 3 players. Mind Freak still lurking around outside of B main, just tucked away. The drone won't be able to spot him.
This has to be. Oh, they don't spot Meteor. This is huge because the pitch might get slowed down. Find the killjoy.
Enough, but yep, got enough damage across. Going to be taken out. Alarmbot trigger might have actually caught him.
Apa guys? Apapun yang terjadi berarti siapapun yang menang berarti itu rezeki dia, guys. Keren dah sekarang ada buddy timnya gitu.
The answer is going to be no. Divide just stuck out here outside of A main.
And this is the trouble that PaperX is going to have throughout this match. As Munchkin gets another kill through the smoke once again.
0 point didn't even go off.
He was just ready for it. He's just ready for a reaction with these pre-fires. I mean, this is where that experience comes in for someone like Munchkin. But Gen G, there are no slouches when it comes down to these 1v1 duels, so PaperX can't just get away with trying to create a distraction one side and then just push as one force step by step into another area. They're going to get craftier. They're going to have the aim to fire back. I mean, Meteor hiding from that Prowler was everything. Just bigging up each other on that team. I mean, some wondered, including myself, if the players would kind of get along even, given the history they have and the egos they might have from the pride that they've built up throughout their careers, but they are getting along just fine.
Seeing them around the studio, just hanging out. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Don't think they would have spotted him just yet.
Mind Freak still does get tagged, down to 25 HP. He's gonna rotate back around towards Gelato, joining with the rest of the squad, and potentially we'll have to hand off that Guardian to somebody that's a bit
Ini udah kali 2 kan ya?
on the HP bar.
Yeah, and the anchor here from Karen. The paranoid buys just enough time for all the backup to arrive.
Biar cepet.
He's had some amazing clutches yesterday, but with 25 HP and a Guardian, you have
Semua keren banget tuh jadi
PES.
Nge-rap anjir. Nge-rap, Cok. Loh. Oh, udah. Nah, ini udah Festus ya.
Moments like this that Karen has in his very first PCT tournament. Yeah, he played one event in the offseason at Convergence, but even there, it took a little bit to warm up. Yeah, he had some individual moments, but it was a very short-lived event for the squad of Gen G. And head coach Solo talks about it, how he thinks, yeah, all these maps that they had to play really benefited someone like Karen, and he is fitting right in onto the stage. He's been starving for an opportunity like this. Now he's taking advantage of it fully. So many 3K highlights throughout kickoff.
Mau ngomong apa?
I was trying to ignore it. Just trying to imagine that it's not actually here. It worked before during this.
Oh, ini
I mean,
di pause.
This isn't like a T-Rex where we can just sit still and ignore it, and the pause ends up going away. So it is in fact going to be a tech pause, much to the chagrin of literally everyone.
Pause, guys. Kenapa demen banget nge-pause dah?
We've been able to sort these out a little bit
Panik
quicker
kah?
here, so hopefully we'll be able to get right back into the game. But listen,
Panik
things like this happen.
kah?
What's important at this point is going to be keeping up that energy for the side of Gen G, right? I mean, whether no matter what the reason is, it happens now.
Oh, audio
it's part of a real
issue.
tournament. And for Gen G, it's about keeping that energy up. And for PaperX, it's about not letting the thoughts get to your head. Because obviously you can't discuss any of the actual gameplay here during this part of the tech pause.
Well, looks like audio issue. Our old friend rearing its ugly head once more.
All right, well, we'll see if it gets sorted out quick enough. Talk about the match so far, though. 5-2 lead on a comeback from Gen G after losing the pistol round.
Ya begini gua
So far, this is one of those maps that's looking
ngelot
like
berapa
you
banyak ya?
got the pistol, but what more did you make of it, right? You
Wow,
got the 2 rounds
CPU
that you're
20,
supposed to get if you win the
GPU
pistol. Obviously,
12.
pistol one off
Keren.
the back of some nice shots and really fast tempo, as PaperX often does. But then, once the buys came in from Gen G, they just fire right back.
Yeah, it's just incredibly impressive. And again, I mean, for Texture to just kind of start things off, not really be present in those first couple rounds, and then just slingshot his way to the top of the standings. Karen as well was right there with him. This is a scary
Bang, nggak
team,
Minecraft.
and it's been
Ntar ya,
a
nobar
very
piciti
long
dulu.
time since there's been any kind of real belief in Chichina, not since the 4-0 start and then the insane fall off at the beginning of Pacific last year.
Siapa
It's
Susanti,
just like,
Cok?
oh, okay, this team peaked early, and there's no hope. Okay, now they're bringing in Solo. He wasn't able to get much done when he was coaching over on Damwon, Lakia. He wasn't able to get through some of the matches that everyone expected that he would win at Ascension.
Yeah.
Is this going to work? They have Karon. Who is this guy? But I mean, they have made their names known.
Ya, lu pada mau
I was
ini nggak?
part of that group that was doubting this team. I mean, sure, a story of redemption sounds great, but that's all on paper. I felt like maybe all of them had enough chances, and now I'm proven wrong, and I couldn't be happier about it.
Paper X.
Aduh.
See if they can get themselves back into this game here in round number 8. Operator, of course, still in the hands of Textures. He is just aggro pushing out. Ooh, goes for the flick. Can't quite get the connection, though. This time, Mind Freak getting away unscathed.
Yeah, but something like that really puts a damper on Paper Rex.
They're going to look to really flush him out of this position.
Opek bang,
Are they
opek.
ready for the Odin backup, though? The Prowler comes out.
Prowler coming in. Yep, Lakia.
Nice.
Not able to find the kill. Gets a good amount of damage out, but
Bentar. Tadi gue nyobain.
Actually,
He's
gets
gonna
caught.
slap down.
Oh, iya, kena.
He does get caught, but Karen's got the covering fire here. Back ramp. Kills. Mind Freak
Itu tuh kanan lu.
The headshot, opening things up. Footsteps, swings out of smoke, able to find one, but it's quickly
Oh
traded by
iya,
Divide.
udah mati. Oh iya udah mati. Apa?
Gak apa-apa sisa si Munchkin.
Available here for the side of Munchkin.
Tadi kan gue nyoba CS di 165 Hz. Gimana kalau misalkan layar gue tadi 270 kayak Kevin ya? Pin, berarti itu enak banget, Pin.
And if it's Munchkin, there's absolutely a possibility.
270 Hz, ha?
Iya.
Second thrash.
Yeah, that's rash, but 0 point. Going out.
Kevin 270 kan?
Just in time as well.
Stops it in its tracks before the dive can come in.
Kevin
Flash.
defense.
Even. Tapi seingat gue dia 270.
Spectator bug there.
Yep.
Pushing
Trying to
forward,
play
trying to
one.
flush him out.
Wah,
Side.
udahlah.
Transition back.
Dua kayak gitu nggak mungkin menang sih teorinya. Lu menang tuh aneh, keajaiban dunia sumpah.
Break the win streak.
Keajaiban dunia, cowok.
Barely so though. I mean, yeah, off the back of the thrash, sure, a nice triple swing to take out what they thought
Oh,
was
perek aja bisa perek.
in fact, it ended up being the Odin and the Sova.
Apa lagi di skor?
Thrash, I mean, you get the detain onto the jet, and Karon's just there for backup. What a guy to have as a bodyguard for the side of Texture. And Meteor, I don't mind the timing. He's trying to just make sure Texture can stay alive for just a bit longer. Misses, obviously, the kill just fast enough, but he's dwindling the numbers down for a potential clutch.
Straight back into it.
Late storm push out mid.
5 ults available here on the side of Gen G. One already popped as the knives are in. Texture rushing up the top, and it goes down
Anjing,
too.
emang
Something
Texture.
finally able to get the punish to Hunter's Fury as well, crashing in as Lakia hunting for a tag. Doesn't manage to find anything else.
Tapi emang gitu
Still is a
sumpah.
2-for-1 trade up here for Gen G.
Ngeselin.
They don't know about
Ini
this.
sampai jam berapa,
I
Cok?
mean, surely you have to know.
Bahkan.
Paper Rex, they've been lurking so much this entire tournament on any map they're on.
I mean, he's just shoulder to shoulder basically with Munchkin. He was just sat there top mid. Mind Freak slides his way in towards String.
They are
Very
aware
well
of it.
might think that this is protected. The violence.
Iya.
Lakia over on the corner. Dizzy knocks him.
Telat blindnya.
Ends up falling as Mind Freak swings in. Lakia somehow survives, gets the kill, and Gen G is taking that momentum right back out of Paper X's hands.
Oh, and I'm not sure if it was just spam through the smoke or what, but that seemed a bit disjointed even for Paper Rex on those swings out from the smoke. Mind Freak's timing as well. I mean, Mind Freak, I think, waited to get the info, but this was good. We've seen that move time and time again, but the fast 180 from Texture for the anti-flash from his teammate.
Coba ada piciti kayak gini nih mainnya di mainnya di ini kan.
Be the next time out coming out right off the bat for Paper Rex.
I mean, we saw this just yesterday, you know, on that opening game.
Mainnya di 60 Hz. Apa kabar ya?
In the first half. And yeah, they went on to win the map, but I mean, it was multiple overtime resets, and it was damn close. This is a very bold attempt here from the side of Alex,
Apa
but he's
challenge
not
gitu,
like
Iya,
what
Cok,
he's seeing,
piciti
and
60
he's
Hz.
expecting to have more
Lu nggak boleh
success
main di
inside.
atas 60
And I
Hz.
do appreciate the
Harus
style
main di
of
60
timeout
Hz.
from Alex. Really just, as soon as he has enough to say.
Kayaknya next piciti udah nggak pakai monitor Zoe dah. Pakai Asus dah kayaknya dah.
Oftentimes it brings results. Is it always going to be the safest and wisest way to call timeouts? Maybe not. But if it works for your players,
Kan Asus baru ngeluarin ini, 540 Hz kan.
long haul that you want to correct things as soon as they go wrong, then I don't mind it at all. The real question is Gen G. Their timeouts have been quite successful this tournament as well. I had my doubts on the coordination between Solo and HSK. Of course, Solo joining a bit late into the
Ya udah pasti
offseason.
1 MS lah, orang monitor game.
Kalau
Same
di-
page.
Kalau bisa 0,5 ada waktu kemarin tuh ada
Rex with
0,5.
another weak buy here.
That's-
Kan yang penting kan monitor rata semuanya.
Sheriffs across the board aside from something. Otherwise,
Gila lu bayangin
that class
540
put in some
Hz.
serious work yesterday. Prowler, check forward, lock, yeah.
Anjir.
Get caught by this one.
Itu kayak buat situ gue udah teriak dah.
Using that hero rifle to get used. He's gonna find one. Gets out the corner. It's down two. Now that can be an Odin recovered meteor. Taken out, the headshots flying. They swing out, but Charon still anchoring here on the site.
Charon is nasty with it.
Forsaken grabs a Phantom. He has the spike in hand.
Oke guys, tenang aja guys, ada Sumanto guys.
Where does he decide to go? For now, just staying.
Tenang aja guys, Sumanto guys. Aman aja guys.
Next year swung around to Alley. And if he tries to push out, he's going to be giving them line of sight.
Yeah, he has all the time in the world though. Still a full minute. So
Aman aja guys, ada
playing
Sumanto
for
guys.
this mind game to try to get them to search for him first. I like it.
That and waiting for the haunt time, which now has back online, but
Nah, nggak jadi guys. Sumanto goblok
eventually
guys.
will find him a 3K. This Gen G moving up 7-3. Great effort, still here from the side of Paper X, considering the buy that they had. It's looking dangerously close. The Gen G have proven in this
Absen.
tournament they are the
Nggak ada orang di
Oh,
sini.
absolutely. I mean, that's how they shut down the entire team of
Siapa?
PRX. And
Lu kira gue Winda absen.
just dwindling down 2 is enough. It slows him down, gives an opportunity for Karen to find these 1v1s. And how many rounds is that where Karen's had a multi-kill? I gotta say, I think probably all of his kills coming from 2 or 3 Ks back to back as well.
keeping pace with texture.
Udah gue nggak bisa main Valo ya.
PCT, that is always a good sign. Something, however,
Gue harus install ulang Windows dulu.
takes texture's head off. Pushing forward, hitting the switch. Market door now going to be shut. Something gets taken out by the nano swarm.
That's the second time today.
Bit of a brutal kill to be found. By trying to jump up there onto the half box. Narrowly avoids getting sprayed down by the
Sejak kapan lu penonton setia gue tanya?
That's actually just to cut off that alley access, but as we can see, Gen G, they're not going anywhere near it right now.
This is good
Flash
news.
in, taking turns from it. Managing to find one. Munchkin picking up the kill, but Mod yet. Lurking, finding one. Putting some shots there into Charon. Looks like he wants to go for the challenge. He wins it. Takes him down.
Masih bisa.
Spike uncovered by this pit. Charon falls. Mind Freak able to find it. The spray coming in, but those tracer rounds just lead Mind Freak to his target. Locky goes down. Paper X looking to rescue this half. Potential 7-5.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate round there for Gen G because they had their own lockdown as well, and it looked like most of the team was on board to empty the site for a potential nightfall. Texture just thinking he could get away with a greedy kill and dash out into market. Unfortunately, he gets taken down, and that's an instant trade all the way onto Meteor, and the plan falls apart. But if they can get back up to 8, they should be okay for the second half. Thrash online now, though. See if Gen G's ready for it this time.
Well, last time it was used, we just didn't see much value coming through.
PC yang dipakai di VCT apa ya kira-kira ya?
Rush play outside of A. This time though, again, eyes set on
PC
B.
pre-build.
Not yet. No, Odin.
Bisa jadi loh, bisa jadi.
Thrash is going to be coming in. Recon does
Kira makanya speknya apa ya?
not going to be able to make the jump. Sees connecting, Mania jumping forward, looking for him.
Gak mungkin dong. Layarnya aja 15 juta.
Right in front of Meteors, gun barrel. He's able to take him out. They're still being approached on. Swing out some shots in the box, connecting there on a Forsaken, whittling him down.
Lock is still alive.
Trying to hold the line. Does eventually fall. Something cleaning up too. Meteor gonna get taken.
Nice.
Will die.
Let's go Perek. Bisa banget.
One after the other as
Bisa.
rotations come in. They will be able to get this back to 5 and a half.
I feel like Locky and Meteor did everything they possibly could in the entire
Oh, Haltime ada istirahatnya kah?
there in the back of sight.
Bought a lot of time.
Yeah, and yet, as the backup arrives, it's Paper X who are able to actually just flood the site and then hold all the trade angles, all the crossfire. So Paper X, when chaos comes, they know how to adapt into it. They know how to really thrive in those situations. And, I mean, now suddenly a 5-7 half, this is not what Gen G thought they'd have going into the second half. Of course, getting 5 in a row, starting with their first buy round.
They still do have that innate advantage of having both timeouts in the back pocket.
Sure.
But we know how difficult it can be to stop Paper X if they start stringing together those rounds, if they start getting streaky. And even the timeouts might not be enough to really try to slow their roll. Gen G going to be looking to come out here with that pistol. Tie up that scoreline and get that much closer to closing out this first map.
Yeah, and something Gen G will have to keep an eye on is, of course, some of these retakes that Paper X has planned with this composition. I mean, so many projectiles, so many different mollies and nades that they can throw out. And on top of that, the toxic screen if you watch back to their gameplay, the toxic screen really does give a lot of tells on what their retake setup is going to be. So we'll see if Gen G is able to keep tabs on that round to round.
For now, just
Ya,
a wall cutting off mid.
oke itu.
Bit
Kok buffering?
of that catwalk access as well as B main.
And just trying to really funnel them in to the A site, really, if things go their way for the side of Paper X. And if it is a B hit, still a lot of options to delay, even without something like the Killjoy, just with the fact that you have to go through toxic screen 2-3 times.
Third sent out, Texture pushing down.
Langsung
Spotted
nge-push
mid
gitu
so
ya.
far, and something hanging back, avoids that 0 point for the drone over the top, will be able to spot him. Is he getting ready to come through? And drone should have seen Forsaken as well. Texture gonna come on, yes, flashes for him. Texture gonna be able to find 2. A site very much open at the moment. So break the window, try to fake somebody going up, and Meteor just gonna
Ntar
let the
kayak gue
hang back,
pengen ambil
lurk there
makan
with a
dulu.
tree. Pulls all the way back, usually over to short. So far, I don't believe he's been spotted.
No, they still have the numbers advantage in the site as well, so they're just trying to buy enough time, but Mind Freak.
Great check from Forsaken as well, off screen, getting the shots through the box to be able to take him down. Munchkin now looking to try to hold the side. Dizzy up over the top, does manage to get the flash out.
No one's in main.
Blinded up, swing around the back. Munchkin actually able to steady the aim, finds a headshot there on a Forsaken, and now something with everything to do. He's been spotted, shock dart, a little bit of a botch there from the side of Lakia. Is the wingman now going out to try to start this defuse. To push forward, something even with the fight versus Karan, but he can't quite get it done. Gen G will tie up the pistol round count and now move up by 3.
I mean, we know that the devs over at Riot were just waiting for that wingman to finish that defuse just to showcase what Gecko is possible of here at the pro level. Something, of course, someone who's capable of it. But what a great fake sell from Gen G, sending both of your initiator and all that utility all the way up through mid. You send the 0 point, you send the drone. Really selling that you want to go for a B pinch. And then it's just the forces barreling through A link. Paper X just bit right onto it. Nothing more than that.
No force ups again. We saw them, going for that force buy, which is uncharacteristic of Paper X overall yesterday, and finding great success with it. This time, just going to be sticking with these classics. One sheriff in the hands of Mind Freak.
And this is a nice play by Paper X, because this is that screen that they often like to use for a retake onto B. They'll pinch in from both main and defender spawn. Try to utilize that toxic screen for a nice pinch. Just trying to sell the fact that they're not here, but no info now. They want to start dwindling it down.
They're swinging out, but Meteor still managing to come up with 2. Despite the fact that he only has a ghost, and he also puts the buy down at 44, Mind Freak at 76. Couldn't ask for much more than that. Your Killjoy player in that position.
Where are you?
Now Spike can get planted.
Toxin screen down.
And if it wasn't for the Sheriff and the Ghost, you have to imagine this is one of those rounds where you just call for the save right away, go down to the Spike, but they're not even in a good position to do that. Looks like they will try to wait for it. Just trying to pick off.
Ya, sorry, kepencet.
Trying to bait them out with the audio.
Seems like Gen G just have such a strong read on it. 0
Wow.
point to go check towards heaven.
Gak
Now
apa-apa.
Munchkin just going to be spotting over towards trees. They reopen the door. And as they see nothing,
Berhasil mendapatkan
very
lutan
much
makanan nih.
assessing it. Everybody's going to be on this side of the map. Mind Freak will be able to take one more down with him.
Trying to
As
bring
they're
this to
trying to
Munchkin.
juggle it over to
Munchkin.
Munchkin. Can he get it? He got
okay.
it.
He was celebrating for a little bit, so he wasn't paying attention there, but...
Well, I mean, this esports thing doesn't work out, Texture. You can join the circus. Fantastic juggling.
It's things like that where you start to notice that Gen G's really in it for the victory. They really want to get this first title in 2024, because little things like that could make or break the snowball towards a map win.
This is,
Oh, Unju.
the round where it has to be the turning point, it feels like, here for Paper X. Coming into the bonus. Still so much firepower available to Gen G, but Odin now
Baru diam sih di
brought
Discord.
into the fold by Forsaken on the opposite side of the map. But once again, Gen
Ah.
G just widely able to stray away from the heavy presences. Defiant Moniat trying to swing out.
Kenapa pada
Just
di
spray comes in, they get whittled away.
That's going to hurt a lot. The paranoia down. You know that you scratched up a lot of members if you were a Gen G player. So you know that the A site should be weak overall. Meteor going back to try to just disrupt the default just a bit from Paper X. Make sure they have to spread out once again. Just activates its turret and now returns.
Yeah, peeking back out. Smoke comes down.
Ban
Genji's
serem.
gonna be cutting noise and starting to drift away.
Genji serem.
Wingman not spotting anything.
Gue udah bisa main game horror nih.
Actually recoverable here for the side of something, but
Game
still
game horror.
be a great risk.
Terus
Now it
jangan
certainly is
jangan
one.
yang panjang-panjang, yang pendek-pendek aja.
See if he's wise to this. Little wary of the catwalk push, but not quite down on the grass.
Oh, the timing jumps away.
Pacify. Kayak pas mau bilas loh. Pacify boleh sih Pacify.
Do his damnedest.
Ada update kah?
On yet. In position here.
Ada update kah?
More.
Just cutting off the
Ada,
backup
udah
should be
lama
enough
sih
here for
sebenarnya.
Munchkin.
Udah dari.
Oh, he hears a rotating.
Coba
He
crack.
calls for them to go to
lagi.
B. What a brilliant call.
Swings out, but he's not ready for Mind Freak, but they actually miss each other, but Mind Freak. he
Gua
could
nanya
be
si
able to shut
Alcrack.
this down, depending on when he
10
decides to
seconds
swing out.
left.
The time's so
Woi.
very limited, but now he's turning his sights away, so the spike
sabar.
can get planted. On yet, coming forward. Oh, what a shot from Munchkin! Looks for more.
Iya, kayaknya.
Here's the third.
Kamu doang.
Mind Freak now the last one standing on this side of the map.
Enemy remaining.
He's gonna come up with
Kanan.
3. Something getting ready to join in, pushing his way
Ayo,
in
bisa,
through market
bisa
texture
menang.
on his lonesome.
Bisa
Try to
menang.
clutch it out. Swing on
No!
Gets the headshot. Knew where Mind Freak was. Can he read where he is now? Push down and Texture has it.
Bisa-bisanya loh.
The clutch coming
Gila, emang
through.
Texture.
Genji now moving up
Texture
to
jago sih.
double digits.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful from Genji. You have an incredible call from your IGL who puts himself at risk to not only sell the fake, but you are still looking at the clock to say that we have time to rotate if I hear them starting to flood back to the A side. Then a brilliant triple kill, and then
Map
Texture to
macam apa itu?
clutch it
Kecil
on a
banget.
bonus.
Enemy remaining.
This is everything you could hope for. If Genji doesn't close
Dia
this
bisa
map
lihat
out,
kah kayak gitu.
I think these players have plenty to be upset about because this should pretty much spell the end of it.
Oh, for sure.
Where
I
are
mean, Munchkin is beautifully serving that one up. Once again, just slowing
Aduh.
things down. But spot him now.
Nice,
T-shirt,
bagus,
something he will
dapat
find the headshot
something
from
dah.
Sheriff. Backs his
Bagus.
way out
Apa
here.
dapat texture?
Same time, however, catching Mind Freak on that lurk forward out of B main. Forsaken as well.
Ban ya?
Push this. He does have a Bulldog and Meteor at 11 HP.
Dimas aku tidak dijawab.
Disadvantaged here.
Woi, udah dijawab dosa apa sih?
They're gonna back
Ada apa,
each
Undi?
other there in the end, but Karen pushing up into
Kamu
bench.
kenapa Undi?
Taking down something. Giving that advantage back
Jangan
over to
ngepush.
Genji as Lakia is here sat outside of Gelato, and this time Monyet not going to be able to win the fight right around that ult orb.
Yeah, they should be able to go over to B. Meteor heard the exit from B main. You got the kill in mid as well, so you know that Forsaken was pretty pressured on the B side.
Nice
Great
one.
timing from Divine, swinging out right before that ping would come down. Catches Lakia completely off guard. Finds the punish, keeps things close, as well as recovering a weapon.
Charon, it'd be wise to just tuck in somewhere, make sure that you can cut off the backup, maybe get some info. They're a little scared because
Ya,
they're so
ya.
Gonna try to find this right now. Forsaken is not thinking about it. Karen finding the kill, leaving out Devi on his lonesome. Cover going out. Find a quick pick on the Meteor would bring it into a 1v2. He still holds onto a Paranoia as well as 1 TP.
Yeah, but 3 members, they can watch
Wow.
every single possible entrance. It doesn't matter if the mind games are here or not.
Shadows traveling.
Does he go for a shadow step here? I love that Munchkin enters that smoke right away. Doesn't want to take any risks.
The flash into the back, but now they're very well aware of his position to swing out. Meteor does remain standing at the end of it. 11 HP and 11 round wins. Genji 2 away from taking their map pick of Ascent in dominant fashion.
And if finally an operator comes online for Paper X, but it just might be too late. What Genji's been doing here is really just shutting down the possible compositional advantages that Paper X is looking for. I mean, they have so many ways where they could really initiate this attrition of all that utility. and, and they just have, I mean, Genji just has the counter.
Genji ini
strat,
Korea ya?
honestly. This composition, the classic composition I said,
Ya,
is good for a reason.
mentalnya
Texture
ketolong,
over,
Cok.
diving his way in towards the B side, but no one there to greet him. The snake bite, now the free entry coming
Ini
through.
VCT di Korea kan?
Spike will get planted. And as Meteor plants this, that's also going to give him a lockdown. So many ultimates here for the side of
Pasti dia
Paper X,
pulang
and
ke
they're just
rumah.
one
Udah
away from
tidur
things
di
they could
hotel.
very well utilize and would
Belum
love to
tentu.
have to try to get this retake going, but now it's just going to be that tempo lockdown coming through.
You have to flood it.
Kalau beda kota,
Try to rush, break this one down. The Dizzy is there. Knives coming back through though. Locky with the covering fire, able to take out Monyet. They got the lockdown, but they've lost the war. Might freaking something last one standing. The off, able to find one. The rush in, the right click. Texture takes him down, draws up the weapon, but Karen's already claimed the kill. Gen.G now at map point.
Texture pretty much asking how big's your mouse pad something, because you ain't flicking for this one. Shuts him down.
Even the high sense not going to save you there.
My gosh. And I think one of the things that might be, I mean, sure, they face against each other in Group C, but one thing that really is keeping Paper X scratching their head is you just haven't seen a Korean squad play for contact like this.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they just greed for these duels, and they're not backing away from it.
The confidence right now is just something that is so dangerous that Paper X has to deal with, but breaking the confidence of Gen.G has proven to be incredibly difficult for every single team that has faced them thus far.
Oh, they
Full
they
push.
Wow,
Three
they want to
players
send a
up
message.
mid.
Aduh.
Try to take down this pit.
Swing on the corner. Something dead. Pop flash up over the back of the wall. Gets the full catchy and on Forsaken. Another one in hand. Monyet will be able to find the kill. Showstopper at the ready, spotting. Locked
Nice.
dead. Monyet keeping in this one.
Udah,
And also
nge-trap.
finding that spike. Texture, however,
Aduh,
around the back.
keluar ini.
Regains his audio. Dashes away. The boombot only able to find the kill. 7 bullets remaining here.
One enemy
As
remaining.
Meteor, the covering fire, out in mid. Finds it. And it's a one tap to finish the map.
Gila.
13 to
Gen.G.
5. Gen.G.
Wanna play?
Showing up to play.
Getting a confident win on your map pick when they faced off against each other in the groups. They took each other's map and went to that map 3, where Paper X brought out this unconventional no duelist competition Sunset. That's what shut them down. But Gen.G comes back and says, now we've got some tape on ya. We've got all the warm-up we need. Even Karon has now gotten used to the stage. And immediately, Coach Alex wanted to make sure he doesn't forget all the things he saw that they need to fix if they want to extend this best of 5 in the finals of this kickoff tournament.
An incredible display put up.
Ini best of berapa sih?
9 and 3 from Texture on the scoreboard.
Seven kan?
Monstrous KDA from him.
5 ya?
Gen.G, what a start. We'll see if that carries forward because Split is
3
gonna be on the rise.
3 kan? 3 duluan menang kan? 5 benar
All
5.
the action here from map 1.
What an incredible performance by Gen.G. They definitely had the Paper X Zoo comp figured out. I mean, the moment Solo picked Descent, we were like, he's either insane or he's figured it out.
Yeah, I was actually pretty worried about this pick, to be honest. I thought, oh man, the Paper X looked really good on this map. Like,
Loh bang,
you
tadi
look
aku
in here,
nonton
but
bikin
clearly
krim.
it's looking great. I mean, it's
Bikin
so
krim
many things
apaan,
going
Cok?
right for them. The firepower is not
krim.
lacking.
Oh, bikin krim, ya
Same
ampun.
Gen.G we've been seeing throughout the entire year. And on top of that, you're getting some of this like mixed style of Gen.G.
Yeah,
It isn't
keren.
that standard Korean style, especially with players like Munchkin there, who are just
Keren,
pushing
keren.
their way
Oh
through
my
to the spawns of his opponents and just tearing them apart.
That round is like, it's reminiscent of what we saw in Paper X versus EG in that Finals of Champions. You know, these deep lurks that Paper X somehow just doesn't quite expect, especially down mid. And they have the aggression, you know, they got the early contact and they continue to push through it. And Texture is someone who, I don't know how he gets those tailwinds. The timing of it, the way he dodges some of these utilities sometimes, it's just too darn good.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There's a lot of them hanging around spawn area, and that's where Paper X tends to go down. Munchkin with that Guardian top
Oh, my
Oh,
on
the Monyet.
Monyet. Oh my god.
Ooh,
Monyet,
that
monyet.
sent shivers on my spine. I mean, that was absolutely nasty. And think about the fact that, you know, they were juggling the guns to get that Guardian into play still.
Oh,
and
yeah.
their head is so in the game right now, it's insane. And the other thing is like for Paper X, it's a tough adjustment because T1 plays nothing like this. Like, this is way different. T1 doesn't really take much mid control. They leave it pretty well open. Sometimes High as player is there, of course, to try to, you know, use the op or whatever. But for the most part, it's left open, and it is not the case at all for Gen.G. They are going to try to punish the weaknesses in your defenses, and they absolutely did it. They're like to a treat.
I mean, the thing that stands out to me the most,
Yeah,
if you
makasih, Undi.
look at the bottom of your screen right now, is the 5-round win streak on the Gen.G's defensive half. Because, you know, Paper X wants to start out strong on attack. That's kind of their whole game plan. That's what this composition is about. You got Raze, you got Gecko, you're trying to break things open, especially off of that Dizzy. However, Gen.G has clearly figured it out. You know, there were times with that A-split push that PaperX repeatedly tried to pull off. Texture gets an early pick. They are set up. They've stacked up on the site.
Bukan PRX Essen bagus
I
ya.
can't remember if it was like Munchkin or Lakia, but someone
Ya,
hiding in the
emang
corner
bagus,
of
tapi
A
kan
site, just
emang
right outside of A main. And they're
gimana
just
ya?
preemptively shooting down that Dizzy that gets sent out. So no matter what PaperX throws
Ada
at them,
kalah.
they always get numbers advantage. They're ready to receive
Gen.G
contact, and
bisa
Gen.G
ini
just
malah.
shows that they have that preparation. And apart from that, I mean, yes, MVP is Texture, but can we talk about Karen for a second? There were some of these rounds where he picks up impact frags, just holding Boathouse on B site by
Feeling gue
himself.
bakal 5 game dah.
1v2 clutches, 1v X's, and he just does so much.
He's so confident right now. Solo was saying in his interview, because of all these games that have been happening, in a way, Karen has leveled up and he's shaken off a lot of the nerves. When you're playing through that many games in 1 week, by the time you get to this one, you're probably super warm and, you know, nothing's going to throw you at this point.
Yeah, and Alex touched on this in his pre-match interview where he was saying, like, sometimes it's a blessing and a curse to have to play that many games. Like, on the one hand, your opponents are going to have a lot of tape, and that's where PaperX has to lean into, right? They have to say, we have
Oh,
an
pada
idea
ngilang
of what
satu
they're gonna do. This was
persatu.
different today. This was a Gen.G that I haven't quite seen just yet. But also, on the other hand, your opponent's going to be warmed up. They're going to be comfortable on stage, especially with a rookie like Karon there, able to get that experience under his belt, to really understand what it's like to play in front of a crowd, to play in front of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people online as well. So this ability to get Gen.G this far with their just determination, their mental grit, things like that are really starting to pay dividends.
Now, I do have to bring up Texture. Paper Thin, you've been a long time believer of the Texture Jet
Yes,
power.
preach to us.
I'm the preacher.
Yes.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a way to put this because I have been asked many times who I thought the best Jet in Korea was. And mostly I leaned toward Buzz because of his ability to be so stable as an entry fragger. But the thing he was always kind of lacking compared to Texture was his op. Texture is the complete package. He has explosive plays, he has steady plays, he can do a
Pro
lot
player
of different
piciti
things
badannya nggak
well
sehat-sehat
for you.
semua
And his
anjing.
operator is top tier.
Kelihatan
This
bangsat.
guy
Kerjaan
is
cuma di
so
kamar.
fearsome to deal with. He could set up individually for himself. You saw that
Iya, Cuk.
top mid play where he turned that flash.
Kelihatan
and got
banget
that
tuh
double
badannya nggak
blade
sehat
storm. I mean,
semua
things
sih.
like that he's able to pull out, taking a page out of something's book, to be honest. We saw that
Yes.
last year.
Yep.
So, like, those kind of plays that he has in the bank on top of playing pretty well off of his teammates, and his teammates support him. We saw a lot of
Ya
teamwork
kalau
in
player
that
sana
final
tetap disuruh
round.
olahraga
Their
dah.
swings in the mid to cover him from
Kayak
Marvin,
udah
things like
wajib
that.
gitu.
Really working well for Gen.G.
Yeah, I mean, is Texture really the make or break here? I don't know, because they've all been playing fantastically. They've been able to read all of PaperX's maneuvers. They're
Macam
swinging
mulu.
from site to site. Basically, figure
Udah lama.
Like you mentioned
Emang nggak sih?
before, right, you know,
Pergantian game
I don't know if he's exactly
Biasanya
the
kan
make
tim
or
match
break.
itu,
He is definitely the star fragger right
15
now.
menit paling.
But there are those games,
Hmm.
even when he struggles a little bit. Maybe like he's like, I don't feel good today. I'm a little bit
Main
off."
15 menit ya.
But then he tells his teammates, and they all step
Biasanya.
it up. That's the craziest thing, because that culture difference from like some of the other Korean teams and how PaperX operates even.
Lucu dah
there's
penguin
some
aku pengen.
similarities here, and they all definitely feel like they are close to that finishing line. They can
Banyak
taste
di top map.
victory, and I
KW
think that's
paling.
something that gives them this extra boost, this
Apa
extra
tuh?
surge of
Oh,
confidence.
oh.
And Gen.G is really hungry today. Out of all days, today they are the hungriest I've ever seen.
Texture is hungry again, and you know what happens when Texture is hungry. He gets a lot of kills, and he has 4 more maps. to
San,
get
tahu
through.
gak
Maybe
Fun Tech
even
iOS Pro
less at
yang
this
baru tuh?
point.
Gue udah beli.
Well, the next
Udah
map,
beli
maybe
gimana?
Belum dikirim tapi minggu kan soalnya.
Sure, why not?
PaperX?
Sure,
Oh,
why
yeah.
not? Why not? I mean,
Ya,
look,
mau beli juga makanya.
it got
Bagus
over the
banget.
line yesterday. I mean, if it isn't for a few key moments, right, that could
Emang
have
sebenarnya
T1.
sebelum
Iya,
Enggak.
masalahnya Hall Effect-nya tuh di analognya juga.
Gini ya, sebelum dia rilis, gue udah tahu duluan soal kemarin yang gue kirim video itu yang kata gue ke Fantek itu barangnya udah ada. Kemarin nambahin gue beli, cuman dia bilang belum bisa, baru keluar bulan depan. Ternyata nggak lama setelah itu udah keluar, ya udah langsung gue angkut. Cuman belum ini. Gue beli yang putih.
Iya, yang putih bagus.
Ya gue beli yang putih. Belum dikirim lagi. Besok gue pakai SMD sih.
Aing juga mau beli, makanya.
That's one of
Ini
the
bagus
biggest
banget.
things, you know,
Makanya itu
about
bagus
this
banget.
Gen.G right now.
Ada gyronya lagi.
See PaperX, they got that triple kill. It's very interesting. Maybe they cooked
Ada
it up like 1 or 2
gyronya,
months ago. That's what they
apa
said in
Hall
the
Effect
interview.
di analog
But
sama
Gen.G, we've only seen
triggernya
Ya,
gitu.
makanya itu bagus banget. Pas gue nyobain di sana juga ini barang bagus banget. Gue bilang kalau di under 1 gue bakal angkut. Ternyata di under gope langsung gua angkut. Gue bener salah bener-bener bagus. Gua kira bakalan di angka 800 kan. Ternyata enggak. Jadi itu too good to be true ya. Biar gak segitu. Ini apa? Nge-lag gini sih?
Nge-lag apaan? Oh.
Dianya atau guanya sih? Oh, dianya.
Kenapa ada yang bilang Mas Anies pula tuh di chat?
Emang iya?
Lihat lah.
Nggak ada.
Ada tadi. Bukan di chat kue.
Oh.
Stream ini.
Udah lewat aja.
Iya.
Gak bakal bisa gue cari.
Itu PC berapa juta? 18.
PC apa?
PC lu lah.
Ini 100 juta lah.
Ya Allah.
Kenapa?
Oh, sudah tuh.
Oh, 3 duelis.
Emang iya? Oh iya nih. Nggak ada inisiator.
Inisiator nggak ada sentimen.
Oh iya.
Minimal inisiator satu gitu tuh kayak Genji gitu kan.
Ada Omen. Ada Omen. Ada blindnya Omen.
Ya, blindnya Omen sama Yoru sih.
Iya. Smoke-nya Viper udah cukup lah.
They need to feel confident. You have 3 duels. You have no confidence, that's it. All right, let's go into our second game split over to our casters to take us through the action.
Thank you very much. Yes, here we go again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't tuned into the matches yesterday, first of all, what in the hell were you doing? What were you thinking? Missing out on
Anjir.
overall blowouts that we had. But you missed the triple duelist debut from Paper Rex, but that's okay. They're bringing it out for you once again. The question is, can they get
beli
the
ghost kan?
Yeah, and now starting on the attacking side as well. So Genji, they've been banning it since that tough loss against RQ, 11-13, as Ades touched upon. Now they're bringing it back. Now in that game, their defense was, by miles much stronger. So trying to just get a head start here on the rounds. And guess what? Paper X, they favor the attack here with this composition as well.
All right, for now, nice and quiet over here at B. They get into some very deep positions. Flash held at the moment there from Locky is a nice interrupt on the plant.
Udahlah.
Oke.
Nice.
Oh, Mankin ya, Mankin. Kirain tekstur tadi.
Udahlah, Mankin bisa apa sih Mankin?
Kirain yang jet tadi tekstur.
Ya enggak. Di sini Manskin mainnya, Manskin tekstur mainnya Razet.
Yeah, I
Okay,
thought
tadi
Genji
kirain
might
jet
just be
gitu.
going for the delay there with the paint shells and then take that
Soalnya
time
dia
to clear
lebih
out
sering
back
main jet
alley
kan.
once more, but they kind of initiate the retake immediately. And that actually
Ya,
favors Paper X as they've
11
already
lah
gotten off
nih.
of the spike plant. They still have all 5 members available. Still good positions from within the site. So Genji, we'll see if they kind of reconsider some of those timings, because we know how crazy Paper X's post-plant situations can get, especially with Forsaken Juru.
Aduh, pistol run menang. Biasa
Standard
jelek nih.
eco buy from him. Otherwise, Caron ready for some close contact.
Nice.
Something coming in the corner. This is one of the things
Anak
that we saw
babi,
so damn good at.
pakainya
Putting
Vandal
down
langsung.
snipers.
Oke, Dandi itu.
Vandal.
Finding the headshot.
Pakai Vandal ya.
So it doesn't want some more here.
Kayak Dandi tuh,
Start off
skin
this
ini,
round.
skin hitam.
Mindfree taking back will take a bit of damage, but finds the
Bukan
elimination
Vandal
there on
doang.
Lakia.
OP-nya
Now
juga
Caron
hitam
making his
itu
way
dia.
over.
Nggak tahu kenapa.
Ih,
Gonna have to take
timing.
Lakia's gun because Shorty on the retake probably not going to be the best thing.
Masih
Yeah,
ini.
good backup from Forsaken as well. So we see that mind
Ih,
pretty
ih,
low. You don't want to
ih,
lose those
ih.
rifles. So
Oh,
Forsaken
nice.
going down with the Sheriff is
Oh,
fine.
mati
You still have
juga
3
dari
rifles that
ini,
you bought up.
dari
Want to
screen.
try to keep that in play. And Divine hears that. He's ready for the quick kill onto Caron. That's 2-0
Dua
lead.
kali menang
Paper X
lagi.
once
Sebelumnya
again.
juga menang 2 kali.
Iya, iya.
Salah.
Tadi
This is where
menang
we
2
saw the
kali.
turnaround and the streak beginning for Genji. So Paper X, see if they're going to be able to clinch this conversion on the bonus round, or if Genji will be able to get themselves on the board. But really nice hot start there from something Mindfree with fantastic anchor, just not allowing them to find any presence
Tapi yang
around this
bahaya
ramp.
tekstur tuh.
Yeah, given the compositions once
Ya,
again,
itu emang raja
Paper
kelas
X,
sih.
the record that they had in yesterday's game, I gotta imagine they have to be looking to throw something out of the book and get this bonus round conversion. You want to get as many on the attacking half as possible.
Does it again.
It starts with that.
He does it again. Swing
Kacang soalnya.
kill player over at screens.
Should have heard the footsteps.
Kok nggak split sih?
Things off 2-0. Meteor
Ya
just around
karena
the
emang
corner.
mainnya di split.
Lakia swinging
Nggak salah.
wide at double face.
Masuk akal.
Tewas ini.
As yeah, it's not ready for that swing to come back through. It's going down. The rest of the team rotating over towards B, where Karon's still
Wah.
just sat.
Hah? Nggak kelihatan kah?
Screen down.
Just kind of dodging
Hah?
around that trailblazer
Hah?
pit, and I-
Wow, gak lihat. Oh my god, sumpah itu keren banget,
Outlaw to use, doesn't manage to find Karon. Texture up and have an hour will be
Itu keren banget, gua nggak bohong, itu keren banget.
quickly replies with a kill of his own. Push out. Damage there on him on yet. Cancel on the plan for now.
Nice, gua panik dikit gua.
But widely, with the teammates coming through,
Davainya kejauhan banget.
Iya.
about their losses whatsoever. They convert the bonus and start off 3-0.
I'm a little shocked at how confident Divide was that the Trailblazers didn't see him. I mean, he just knew
Sedikit
exactly
gua.
the angles that it would be able to scout, especially around the toxic screen. I think that's more so what he was banking on. The fact that, of course, when you're right up against that toxic screen, your vision does get blurred a little bit already. And with
Anjir,
all that distraction,
shot apa
you know
itu?
that the sight should be weaker, and that is gonna
Lu nggak liat ini?
be a timeout. You gotta
Hah?
imagine from the Gen G side, finally.
Lu nggak liat ini?
Vision
Kapan sih?
Apaan
team,
outlaw?
I mean, he-
Tembakan apa
more
itu
so what he was
sial?
banking
Apaan?
Nah tuh,
when you're right
tembakan
up against
apa
that
itu?
toxic screen, your vision does get blurred a little bit already.
Spectre, namanya Spectre.
With
Emang
all that
enak ranin kan.
Gen G camp.
Aing
Just
pakai
given
Spectre
how
juga kayak gitu.
far ahead they were and how much in the driver's seat they were.
Kata aku
on that
ranin
big
bang,
map,
seluruhnya masih
never
bisa lu.
needed
itu core siapa ya? Keren juga.
breaks. So after dropping that bonus, we'll start talking about what the game plan's
Kalau
gonna be.
kemarin pakai ini kan?
They're identifying so far.
Apa namanya?
Ya, dari kemarin dia main.
Also
Apa
difficult
kemarin
because
yang-
at the end of the day,
apa
these rounds
dari
are starting
brand-brand
because something
apa
just
gitu
swings
kalau
a
ini
corner
kan.
and headshots you.
Enggak, dari
When
kemarin
you're
dia
already
secret
down
lab
one
dah.
man and
Emang itu
yeah,
secret
I
lab?
was
Emang
gonna
itu
say
secret lab?
Paper X not really gaining
Nggak tahu,
that much
kayaknya.
more space after something goes
Iya, kemarin secret lab kan? Ini sekarang apa?
It works out. Gen G gets a
tahu.
little curious because they still don't have as much information either. Of course, they're also running a double duelist here, so not as much util that you're
Valorant
used
tuh
to having,
enak,
especially with the sky
Spectre-nya,
changes.
kalau Ranen
I am curious if Gen G might
Belum
consider
lihat
trying not
kayaknya,
to use the
apa,
operator too
Sansan
much, right? Don't try to build up to that
Kayak enakan,
economically.
enakan P90 nggak sih?
First kill, but when you got
baru
the
aja
race
pengen
gen
ngomong.
and the
Nah,
Euro
kalau ngomong enak, gue prefer P90 sebenarnya sih.
We saw
Masalahnya
how
beda ya, beda game.
easily, for the
Ya
most
sebenarnya
part,
kalau ngomongin enak, SMG enakan P90 sih.
well, when he was the one going
50 peluru, 50 peluru bisa ambil lari.
Iya, makanya lurus lagi.
Iya. Memang nggak ada lawan sih itu senjata tuh.
Try to stray away from that.
Sumpah enak banget.
Just wait and see as things continue to develop. Now, full stack from Gen G over on the A side, as they are very quickly going to learn that they have gambled wrong.
Wow, that's unfortunate. And
Planting,
we'll
bodas.
just wait to have
tadi
somebody
di sini
that
siapa?
needs an ult point.
Oh, plantingnya
Try
kayak
to
gitu.
go for this big plant.
Fun yet finally volunteers. Saying showstopper's pretty good. I guess I'll take that.
Udah di A semua. Lah,
Iya.
Knowing that they had the time as
Maybe
well.
not,
No,
whatever.
I'm gonna
Oh.
be curious if Paper X all decide to push back out of main because it looks like that's the idea. They don't want to push any deeper into the site. So Paper X perhaps the idea, not really necessarily going for kills, right? They just want to say we want to snowball as much as possible. We want to keep the weapons we have. Don't necessarily hunt for
Mati
kills. If they
nih.
die to the spike,
Mati.
that's it.
Creeping up.
Nah.
91, Karon.
Gak apa-apa, trading.
Off the back of that damage there, gets the nice
rugi
headshot.
senjata men.
Yeah, you're gonna want a double stack
Oh,
here. Something
yeah,
alone could be dangerous.
Dia menang aja udah.
Yeah, checking all the way back over towards spawn. Haven't
Udah rugi banget.
as Lockett will fall, but Karon with another nice
Wah, gila yang bener aja lo.
Some solid
Yang bener aja.
They clean him up.
Menang tapi.
Spike going off. Paper X,
Ya
they
emang
will be able to get up to
menang.
4.
Masalahnya
Gen G doing some damage, recovering some weapons.
This is by
Duit
far
banyak kan?
the
Duit banyak
absolute
lah, aman lah, duit
worst
banyak lah.
scenario for Paper X on that round. Sure, you're supposed
Tapi dia
to
ngasih
win,
nafas
yes,
sih, ngasih
you
nafas
buy
mereka
most
sih.
Bener
of
sih,
your
yang penting
weapons,
menang. Cuman masa
but
sih
giving
kalian
over
sekonyol
those
itu.
kills and the free weapon
Ngasih
upgrades,
nafas
that
coy itu.
allows for the
main
operator to still be
main
a
freak
considered
Davai
purchaser
tadi
for
lihat.
Meteor.
Iya tuh kacau sih itu.
Array of
Goblok banget.
hope to get back into this first half.
Potentially, I
Lu-
mean, Meteor not going to give.
Davai nggak usah ikut gameplay gue, itu gameplay gue anjir.
Greet them off the rib.
Maksudnya apa tadi dicoba-coba di VCT?
Texture gila sih langsung pala 2 kali tadi.
He's just gonna have to back away very swiftly. Now the paranoia as well crashing in.
Itu gameplay gue, nggak usah dicoba-coba.
Gotta judge in hand.
Yang boleh bego-bego kayak tadi itu cuma gue doang.
Aduh, lu tanya orang sana XYZ siapa, nggak ada yang tahu anjing.
Tahu semua, siapa yang nggak tahu gua?
Such hard angles to try and clear. Divine holding ramp. Shuts down one.
Aduh.
Teleporting into heaven. Still managed to find the elimination there.
terusnya
Got that
bulan.
flash swings in. And Forsaken's going to be good for it. A 3K here from the Yoru is Paper X. Well, not going to be losing all their weapons this time around. And in fact, they pick up the operator themselves.
Yeah, you can imagine how you're going to counter the Euro all you want, but once you hear that little whisper from the other dimension following you all into the site, things get a little chaotic. We even have the Paranoia there to assist as well. That just really sets up all three duelists for a great entry. I was going to say, overall, this is actually one of the first matches where I felt that Divine had very little impact, but right there, holding that close angle, trying to get back into the swing of things himself.
Biasanya kalau menang-menang itu senyum lebar ya. Itu ben panikan.
Still a purchase
Rasanya
coming
gila,
through.
Gen Z
Obviously, the
ini.
operator not in hand.
Terlalu gila.
Something, just
Nah,
gonna look to
gila
eat some
nih.
of that damage. As the Trailblazer, nice timing, does get cleared out before it can spot him in this
Blind.
position.
Wah, what the? Wah, gila sih, keren banget cuy.
Ends up getting taken down.
Gua speechless sama orang-orang PCT ini, guys.
Now, Chen-Ji, they can't get too curious about this. I like that they're retaking control of ramp, but that's about all you get. You try to push in through the smoke. That spells trouble.
Orang-orang PCT itu mainnya main aman.
Of the just
Main
lack of
geprek beda
sound,
sendiri.
they're drifting off. They're moving away from this A site.
I don't blame them, because otherwise you're down to a 2-2
Tapi
split,
Paper X
right?
ya
So,
punya
I guess
kekuatan
they're
yang
just saying,
mumpuni
worst-case
gitu buat
scenario,
melakukan hal
go
itu.
for a 45 retake. You do have the Cosmic Divide. We'll see what they have
Tapi
cooked
masalahnya
up.
itu kadang-kadang
So I don't blame
nggak
them, but
selalu.
you're right. I mean, they go for the gamble because they
Bisa
don't
di situ
hear
doang.
the audio anymore, and it's going to be once again
Anggap aja lah
another free
kayak
site
main
for
gambling
Paper
gitu.
X. I mean, you know, they're happy to fight, but they're just saying, okay, well, if we go in for free with no content, we'll take that as well.
Hand off to Monget. Showstopper now online. It's Gen.G. And how far do you really push to try to get this retake going before you just have to call it off? Lockett does have a stinger, so he wouldn't mind sacrificing for the, you know, chancer to try to clean some kills up. Showstopper doesn't come out.
Aduh.
Not much of anything there.
Wow.
But aside from out of town, already Lockett
Wah.
Carron now though. Last man standing.
Nggak mungkin. Ah!
He was down to no HP.
Hah?
Happy as all hell though. Finds another kill. Goes in
Lu
the
yang bener aja.
Sends out the paranoia. He tries to swing the wall. TP's in behind
Langsung
him.
kill.
Carron thinking he was up above.
Di lopenya.
I mean,
Nggak kedengeran
the
juga
fact that
soalnya
first
itu
of all,
tadi.
Caron thought
di
he would have
ulti.
gone above. Props to him. I mean, he threw
Iya,
his
nggak
best
kedengeran,
shot
di
he
blind
had
lagi.
in that chaotic
makin
1v1
budak.
when he was just enshrouded in
makin
the
budak.
darkness. But Mind Freak, I've been seeing it watching these games. I feel like we're getting right up close to peak Mind Freak once again. Reminiscent of the performances he had back at Masters Copenhagen, where he was helping carry so many impact rounds.
They say Masters Copenhagen. We can still look at champions.
That's true.
That Astra play, the 1-2-3 on
Yes.
Pearl, lives rent free in my head. Not just because I was the one that said it. He had his spikes, but I mean, right now, Chen-Chi looking like a very different team in paper.
Kalau lu ngomongin input lag di turnamen kayak gini,
Wow.
berarti bukan monitor doang dong, PC lu juga ngaruh dong. Harusnya PC-nya juga distandarin dong. Nggak boleh pakai PC sendiri.
Yes.
It was too far gone.
Ya emang udah pakai
Curious to see.
Lah bukannya pakai PC
Once you're
sendiri ya?
down that one man, suddenly
Enggak.
these retakes are looking
PC-nya
tough.
ini.
Forsaken.
Oh berarti cuma keyboard sama mouse doang ya berarti yang punya lu ya?
Iya, keyboard
Super
sama
hard
mouse.
carry here. You gotta loosen me up a little bit. but
Keyboard, mouse sama mousepad
I mean,
berarti
they don't
punya lu
really
ya?
need it at this point.
Mau-
All of them
mousepad
performing
ada
well up
input
to their
lag,
own
kan?
standards here on the second map.
Mousepad
Improving
enggak.
that this triple duelist
Keyboard sama
wasn't
mouse
just
punya lu
significant.
dong.
We
Kan
talked about this
Iya,
before
emang.
coming into this
Masing-masing.
match.
Mousepad
I'm sure
bawa-
they might
bawa
have cooked
sendiri
something
juga.
up just
Iya,
because this
mousepad
tournament is
juga.
relatively short. People aren't going to have as much time to anti-strat. So yes, there's merit to
Keyboard
that.
itu tiga
But hey,
doang.
that's power
Keyboard,
to you.
mouse,
You know how to
mousepad.
play the tournament. You know how to play the
Spek
system.
PC VCT
You
apa
might as
guys?
well be ready for
Infokan
that victory.
spek PC CVT. PC ya benar PC.
CVT.
VCT beneran VCT bener lah.
CVT tadi ngomong.
Emang ya ada PCT. Infokan spek PC PCT. Ya enggak lah, harus rata. Ya jelas pasti udah dia
Bagus.
harusnya kuat 360 sih. i9 sih harusnya i9 sih. Harusnya i9.
Lebih,
No flashes, your retake is now more
lebih dari
difficult. You
300.
don't know if you want to stack or go for the 2 and
Ini
2
masalahnya
split. So Gen G, if you don't want to give
monitor
up this
masih
round right away,
seperti
I think you do have
Monitornya
to. It's
360
risky,
sayang.
but This is what you need.
nggak tahu dah. Aing
Enggak.
liquid 140.
Enggak. 360. Zoe. Ada harga 15 juta. Yang khusus buat emang itu. Buat
Their team here in the most
Buat
well
Kalau
positioned
dari
and
Liquid
Munchkin
ya,
reads
kayaknya
it
ngeliat Liquid
perfectly.
tuh serempat empat mereka di belakang.
nggak mungkin atau manfaat ya 360 itu.
Ngikutin yang dari Liquid aja.
Aduh, tekstur.
Oh, he should be able to get the
Kata Frody ini easy clutch. Apakah?
Rotating around. And it looks
Pinter
like they think that he's just
baca
going
ya.
to end up snapping back over towards A.
Pinter,
Makes the teleport,
pinter.
now exits over here at B.
Ah, udah TP duluan.
They called a bluff
Enggak,
as
enggak,
much as they
katanya,
could, but it's Forsaken. He
apa,
knows how this
terakhir.
works. He sees their movement all the
Jadi
way to the
pas
end. He
lewat
leaves that
gitu,
one extra
pas
seed
lewat
of doubt,
langsung ini.
spotting Charon
Apa namanya?
nearby, and now he has a
He's
gate
Jauh
crash.
banget.
He's going all the way back around. He does have that gate crash set up.
Anjing kayak aing mainnya.
40 HP.
When does he tap it though?
Coba.
Surely this is
Ya,
a fake.
planting ini sih. Ya,
Ya,
Hold.
aduh itu doang deh.
Get it up to half. He's going to have to do something here soon. The
Aduh.
big team
Ya.
coming in, but Charon just stopped.
ya,
Ah,
That's
Dulu
unfortunate. Just couldn't
saving,
find the
saving.
line.
ya.
Onto the headshot. Meteor will clean up the kill as well.
Yeah.
The setup was there. You know, you can't doubt the Master Yoru here in Pacific, but Charon just sticking with it close to the wall as well. So good positioning with Meteor able to cover him. But this is where it starts. I mean,
Yeah.
Munchkin with the call that we can't just keep getting shaken up back and forth after we lose one guy. We have to even out the numbers. And this is how they win a lot of these rounds, where they don't get the first kill, right? They've been
Dapat
very
akhirnya pecah
effective.
telur, guys.
Well, that's one step in the right direction here for Gen G.
Get out of my way.
Again, it was, widely that attacker's side that we saw Paper X
siapa
getting
get out of my way?
the most value from the triple duelist.
Itu
Understandable.
palanya nggak kelihatan itu yang di.
Last pack.
Ini orang
backward
gila ini.
Out of that smoke. Not much damage taken here. Robot
Oh.
comes inside, so that's his swing timing. Something swings up in towards heaven. Finds Lock here with a right click.
Nice.
A little bit more, but Forsaken able to keep his teammate protected.
Kok mereka saving?
Gak ada
Keeps him in
duit.
with the man
Kan nggak ada
advantage.
duit,
They have information on two of the
6-1
members. I'm pretty
nggak ada
they should've
duit.
spotted the Jet up in heaven as well.
nggak ada duit, mati. Kan
Soalnya
mati
dia
semua
sampai
tadi
semua.
di yang apa?
Right
Yang
on the
5-0
edge.
itu mati,
Outside of the garage.
Mati semua.
hampir mati
There's
semua.
the timing. He swings in. He will be able to find one. Then gets taken down.
Aduh,
They're
sebenarnya
going to wait for the
semua.
lurk from Devi.
Aduh,
They still have so much time.
satu.
Oh,
Iyalah.
Munchkin ready for it. Now looking for the push
Nice.
forward. Something able to win out versus Meteor.
Dah tinggal mati.
Munchkin.
Munchkin has the pit.
But does he come in here?
Aduh,
Aduh,
So risky.
Building
tapi enggak sih kayaknya safe sih.
If he wins the opening fight,
Oh, penting
something
apa?
Oh, kelihatan.
taking.
Ya
Weapon ends up falling.
ampun.
Munchkin still, though, completely
Nah, kalau ini
unaware of
baru
Mind
nih
Freak's
dia pakai
position.
ulti.
Needs to just rely on his intuition, but now knows.
Ih,
Time is going to be dwindling. Smoke coming down. Swings out.
Nice.
Mind Freak right in the corner, able to find the kill. Paper Rex not allowing for Gen G to string anything together.
Weh, skin vandal gue tuh.
Worse and worse as time goes on for Gen
Oh,
G.
pas.
Yeah, Paper X is going to be happy if they can even just pick up one more round here, which is looking very possible with the economy in this one. But a very quick kill and exit from something on that one. And I want to give props to
Buset,
Munchkin. He
notif
reads
siapa
the
tuh,
jump
Tokped.
timings onto the Jet. Over from something, and he peeks
Tokped,
out right as he
Shopee
goes to
langsung.
jump his landing.
Kok gue juga dapat notif Tokped sih? Oh, berarti dia ada jam-jamnya ya.
Iya, makanya.
10 kills and 3
Makanya ini
deaths.
Shopee sama
impressive
Tokped tuh udah
scoreline.
langsung barengan tadi makanya.
Vanya going on the edge.
Ya
It's
Allah,
the full flash.
Allah.
He's going to be taken down by Fixture with the nade. Michelle's finding one now.
Dipus, anjir.
Fixture goes leaping forward.
Ada.
Sits it into the corner. Mind Freak TP is actually on the back end of the
kalau
showstopper.
kalah
going
Eko
on.
asli.
Now gets himself tucked away, but the spike for now getting drifted over towards that B site, rotating back around through the attacker spawn. Meteor, however, way out ahead, and he can
Aduh,
hear these
kedengeran.
footsteps.
Oh yeah, notwithstanding the weapon situation, this is the best round Gen G's looking
Whoa.
so far.
There's the one tap, the Guardian putting him down. Doesn't want to continue to hold the angle, showing respect to the opponents that he's facing. He pulls back, also very well aware that that sewer lurk could come through from behind.
And the Seekers are going to give him sight of at least one.
Oh, what a snappy shot. Finds one, looks for another. Had he got that on the Mind Freak, I might have lost my damn mind. Paranoia going to be sent
Enak
out, Meteor
banget,
pulling
sumpah.
back over in towards heaven.
Kalau kena.
Now it is just Devi and Mind Freak to try and see if they can somehow engineer this
Miskin lagi mereka.
2v5 retake. Otherwise, Gen G, I mean,
Kalah-kalah
it's
ikut
on the tip of
Crispin.
my tongue
Iya.
right as the round started, but they push the go button so quickly. But these guys, they're thrifties
30
throughout this
seconds
tournament,
left.
have been impeccable, and they're looking for another one now.
That's how they're able to overcome so many of these
Ih,
opponents. And
tempat
Texture has the
nggak ada yang
lineup.
expect.
2 more in B main as well. So even if they get through this race, it's a
Matiin
difficult
berapa.
one.
So with the Sheriff looking for the
Oh,
shot.
nice.
Not gonna be able to find it.
Wih,
Gravity well.
Aduh.
Grab well coming through. Time dwindling. 12
ditahan.
seconds.
Aduh.
Fine. Tapping the rope. And Karon just trying to
Ya
slow them up.
ampun.
Devi able to find one, but he needs to get the plan down. Taps it, fakes it. The round is already over. He's well aware of it. Won't be able to hold on to the weapons. The Thrifty will come through. Genji get themselves up to 2 rounds.
We're gonna have to go back and look
Udahlah,
at this
mau
entire
gimana?
tournament because it wasn't just yesterday. Genji, they have been clawing their way back into not just maps, but entire matches and stages, phases of this entire kickoff tournament to stay alive off of these Thrifties, off of these 4v5s, 3v5s, things like that. And you wonder just what it is, and I think Karon's a big
Kalau,
part of
namanya?
it. Just the
Kalau
shots he can
Valor
make
nih lebih
with these
kelihatan ya,
Sheriffs, with
apa
these
namanya,
Guardians, things like that.
Ikonya
He's
gitu.
leading the charge
Kalau
right
di
now. He and
CS mah
Mike
enggak bisa langsung beli
Dominant board.
P90 udah dulu. Beli P90 terus-terusan.
Lakia.
Hoki.
Kayak siapa tuh beli P90 terus-terusan?
Top. Trailblazer gonna be cleared. Meteor's got the covering fire.
Kayak siapa tuh beli P90 terus-terusan?
Ends up getting punished for it. Genji look to get the 3.
Oi,
Gue pengen getar anjing. Sumpah.
Meteor
Ya
continuing to have
Allah.
his sights trained in towards mid. Vi swinging onto the corner. Will be able to
Nice.
find that follow-up headshot through the corner now. Grabwell goes out. For now, not wanting the challenge.
Jangan pakai
It's
seri
still
nggak apa-apa ya.
formidable opponent to the other side, even if it's just the Sheriff's in hand. Texture arriving through vent will be able to take out the Vi. That's the Spike now stranded. Mind Freak has no choice but to swing in and try to fight. He'll go down.
I'm not sure if this was necessarily called out in their comms, but Karon not peeking once more after activating the Grabwell, it just shows how much experience he's gained throughout this tournament as an entirely new rookie. Because obviously, with the Grabwell activated, he saw that the Omen was still stuck in that area of effect. He could have gone for it, but if he dies there while everyone is waiting for that extra duel, the last duel in mid, that's a rifle given over one more chance for Paper Rex to claw back into the round. So he just says, I won't give it to you. I'll wait for more backup to come, and we'll swarm you for the last kill.
And we only have the timeout being called here from Paper X. So, I mean, a bit of a moment to kind of talk about Karon a little bit more and maybe explain to those who don't know what a Royal Road is.
Ah, yes, because I guess for Karon, this is exactly that opportunity. It's when someone obviously just enters into that tournament for the very first time and they're able to go all the way to the very end, winning the title. And for Karon, it's not just this tier of tournament, it's not just this event or this series of VCT. It is just everything in the entire professional Valorant ecosystem. This is going to be his first time playing at an official tournament during a regular season. And for him to win a title of Pacific Kings would be nothing short of miraculous.
Yep. It's on a good pace, and I mean, Genji, let's say they take the series. Right now, Karon making a damn good argument for MVP of this grand final. See what happens. So there's still plenty more Valorant to be played. Paper X still out in the lead by 4 rounds. Genji want to try to claw that back as much as humanly possible.
Toxins going up.
Take back from Devi, anticipating some forward aggression. Keeps that staved off for the time being as majority of Paper X found themselves out here in mid. Lakia, however, snapping with a headshot.
Apa ya, skor si Secret Lab mahal banget ya.
Something in Moniette go rushing forward. They will get some nice trade damage back there on the Lakia. Putting him down
Ada yang
to
lebih
48.
mahal lagi deh kalau nggak
Kill
salah.
is not found.
Secret Lab udah mahal, cowok.
Iya, ada yang lebih mahal lagi. Saya lupa nama brandnya.
Near ramp in the site on A, so they are a little cautious, and that gives time for Lakia to get the information he needs to start to rotate over to
Kenapa ya
A.
bangku aja mau 7 juta ya, heran gua.
Back in.
Ya, tapi sesuai sama kualitas.
Making it out of there with his life.
Sebagus itu kah?
Rushing forward.
Nice.
Cannot find the spray. Come up with a kill against all odds. Bring it now back.
Sebagus itu kah? Harga 7 juta itu.
All 4 in the pit though. I mean, this is a gamble if I've ever seen one.
Anjir, ini display enak banget. Mati lu.
Sure how much it's going to be realistically
Ih,
doing
jangan
here
di situ
for the
dong.
side of Genji. We'll see how they often play around this one, but
Nah,
somebody spotted the
bagus.
gun barrel.
Keluar.
Find the headshot there on a Meteor.
Bagus.
Just continue to play around
Nah.
the side. Lock it, finish off something coming
Dah.
on the kill now. Up grabs here.
Baru.
On top of the
Udah
score.
nice.
Finds Texture. Karon
Aduh.
pushing forward is able to find 1,
Ah.
2.
Nice,
The 4th to put him down and stop the potential run back from coming through.
Anjir.
Paper X.
Last round before the
Timeout
switch.
working for them. They get themselves now up to 8, looking for 9.
Yeah, I think 8's where you feel okay with it, but
Oke,
9 would make it
ngomongin
very
yang EOS
comfortable
tadi,
so
Run
you
ya.
just win that pistol and
EOS
with the
Lite-nya udah
position,
bagus banget loh.
surely you
Cuma
just put a
300.000
little
lu
couple
bayangin.
more options for your pistol
EOS
rounds.
Lite.
Make sure you secure the
300.000
2
cuma
rounds
bedanya
on the
nggak
half
wireless
of
aja,
the
masih
pistol.
wired.
Then
Tapi
trying to get this
tapi
third
udah
kill
Hall
is just
effect
not
cuy.
fair. Right at the end of the
Masa Hall
spray,
effect juga?
you adjusted towards
Semua EOS sudah Hall
pushes
effect.
out. But the updraft is smart. You know
Yang
the cost
yang
of divide is there.
cuman
They're
bedanya
not
wired
gonna
sama
be
nggak
clearing.
wired. Yang Lite itu nggak bisa lo custom tombol-tombolnya. Kalau yang GP15 yang biasa non light itu bisa lo custom tapi masih wired. Yang WGP15 yang wireless itu bisa semuanya.
Lumayan man. Tapi kalau Aing mau belinya yang itu, yang wire. Ih,
Ya,
bocahnya. Udah kali di mana?
Very long walkabout, playing on this alley side, locking out.
Aduh,
Ya,
udah.
emang.
Giving credence to his potential
Udin
position.
lagi.
Starts checking in behind.
Yeah, you gotta suspect it one way or the other. I'm fine with you refilling the pit, but you know
itu
where Device been
timingnya
playing in
bagus
that
banget.
match yesterday against
Ayo, depan,
T1.
depan.
No,
Aduh,
he
ya
loves
Allah.
those lurks. Now 50 seconds. I mean, Devi could clear here, go back up to heaven. He's got all the options he needs.
Aduh, udah
Ya,
tahu.
timingnya kena anjir. Jelek
Checking
banget.
right. Munchkin finds it. Gen G will be able to finish the half with 4 rounds. Which is more than it was looking like it was going to be.
Yes.
Paper X still in very firm control.
No, I think the scoreline itself, both teams are probably
Headset
okay
gue lah,
with it,
tai
but
lah,
given
headset
how
gue
it
tuh.
started, Gen G
Cuma
probably
headset
feel
gue,
a
aduh,
bit
kesel
better
sih
going into the
Vantek
second
sih.
half, looking at their chances. Both teams going to be eyeing that ever so precious pistol round to see if they can chain it in to the 2 free wins. That would get Paper X just 3 steps away from trying to tie up the series 1-1. It's great to see so many fans out here.
Kemarin gue nyobain ini ya, Arya XD7 yang Atomic. Sumpah itu ringannya bukan main, Cok. Ringan banget.
Apa?
Arya XD Atomic baru keluar juga itu, sama kayak EOS.
Apa itu?
Mouse.
Oh, mau.
Sumpah ringan banget. Sumpah itu bener-bener ringan banget, Cok. Nggak bohong.
Season.
It's all about retaining that throne here for Paper X. But yeah, I mean,
Bagus udah pengen gue.
you know, just their history and camaraderie with DRX.
Cuman harganya
Multiple international
tidak bersahabat di kantong.
that, you know, they have appeared at together.
770.000,
Every
Cok.
international
Bener aja.
Itu yang sensornya bagus doang sih.
Yeah, it's
Berasa
crazy to
soalnya
really
kalau
think
sensor
about
bagus.
the history that the two teams
Ya,
have created, and now we're already seeing a bit of a
minimal
shakeup.
PMW
And maybe
3395 lah aja sih paling kalau mau murah.
Papers are already down one map, now trying to win
Yang
their map choice
punya
split.
di
Pistol,
apa?
this is where it starts.
Di Jakarta
Be a
situ.
3-2 split for Paper
Ini
X.
Kan ini.
No game
Ajas nih.
crashes
Pokoknya
yet.
di, pokoknya di rumah tuh itu bagus banget, enak dah.
PAW PAW 3395
Going out to get milk.
550.000 sebenarnya harganya
We'll leave it right
Wonder
there.
if he's gonna come
masuk
back.
akal.
Okay, we'll finish it.
Sebenarnya harganya Arya XD masuk akal sih sebenarnya. Soalnya memang barang baru dan ringan banget gitu.
First kill, but they didn't
Cuman
Bagus. Aduh.
didn't look to the left. You can take it down. For
Ini
with that
Ripem,
sheriff,
bocah.
has to gate crash back across the opposite side of the map.
Two sheriffs. Paper X are just looking to swing and win these duels.
Ih,
The
nice.
try.
Arriving, able to find one, giving them back into the
Oh,
Sabar. Nunggu dulu.
First
Nunggu
one,
satu lagi.
out the back pillar.
keren.
Munchkin catching Devi unawares. Now it's all on Forsaken.
Enemy remains.
Low
Nice.
HP Bart finishes off the
Menang
enemy
lah.
Ultra.
Oh, muter dia. Emang ada waktu
Done.
muter.
Ada.
Seems
Ada,
down
ada.
the stairs, but this is going to cost him a significant amount of time.
Yeah,
Tapi
he's just gonna
ketahuan
need to
nggak
swing at the
Enggak,
last
enggak.
second, get
Kalau
that
terlalu
kill.
lama.
Enggak.
But it might just work out. Oh no!
Wah, sumpah. Wah.
The headshot.
Aduh.
Such a
Senyum lagi dia anjing, senyum dia.
maintain
Senyum dia.
pistol rounds, now
Aduh,
3 to
ya
1.
Allah.
Agak panik
Will get up to 9.
Onyet
Yang bener
still has a
aja.
statue in that corner, and
Yang
you just
bener
don't
aja kalau udah
suspect it
kayak
in the
gitu tuh
pistol
tinggal
round. Especially after, you know,
di-
guiding light
inin
hits, you
dikit
see one
aja
person
gitu.
flash, there's just no reaction, no spray, nothing else. Gen G thought they had it all. But the double kill stabilizes just enough. I was afraid that we saw the double team of Devi and something trying to go for the early peaks before Forsaken was able to arrive, but dwindling the numbers down just enough.
Yang flick.
Now double outlaw. They want to snowball as many rounds as they can.
Salah
Listen,
tadi
just
itu udah
one
fly.
round here and then maybe another with all your ults online,
Something apa
and
namanya?
then you're close to the win.
Mati tuh mundur seharusnya.
I think one outlaw, easy enough to read. Do you expect that there's going to be two?
Oh, satu
I
lagi.
mean,
Oh, wallbang pun
it's
juga
such
kena.
a commitment too.
Kena.
Nggak beli shield ya?
Beli shield kan?
Taken,
Nggak
looking
beli
for it.
shield.
The shot whipping, but hey, he got 2 bullets.
down mid.
Swings further out, finds Kara. And they still don't even know that something has one over on this A site, which is where they're about to start heading.
Yeah, the gate crash
Something
once again set up for
juga
A side as
outlaw.
well. And it almost just feels like Forsaken gets some kind of armor when he tries to gate crash out. Always so good with it.
Ah, something mati nih.
Now,
Ada feeling gua.
Astaga.
sends the shot, Five pushing forward, able to find one, but 3 bullets. Lakia is able to take him
Nggak
down.
di-pick.
Need more damage from here, though. Let's start hurting Paper X a little bit more, but for now, lost the Spectre, not
Nice.
gonna be too devastating.
Senjata aneh,
Some
masa.
kills. Paper X get the double digits.
Itu senjata
A
aneh,
lot of
Cok.
value off of this new weapon
Ini
introduced
senjata
here
penghancur
in
rekoran.
2024.
Semua itu senjata
And they
aneh.
can continue with it. Now, most people
Endingnya
on
dapat
Gen G will have
outlaw.
full armor, so it won't be as devastating as if they had, all bought up to things like Marshals and Sheriffs. But with the shots that these players are able to hit, and this position on Divide, as soon as he knows that there's contact on ramp, he's been using that to really punish and just cut off a little bit of reinforcement. So Gen G's gonna have to watch out for that.
Full stack from Gen G, ready to send it here at A. Like something going to be going for the peak. Sends out one. It's a flash. Texture
Nice.
trying to chase in. Will get a good amount of damage through the wall, but now to swap over onto the short.
Na
Decides
na
to pull
na
back as that
na
Trailblazer does come
na
through.
na na
Once
na.
again, drawn
Gue
down,
pengen ini dah, gue
pushing
pengen,
into
gue
the
pengen,
top. Finds the kill. Drops down on the top.
gue pengen
Fire
stand,
there
gue
on
pengen
the
stand monitor dah.
Texture. Lakia, however, arriving. Comes up with
Buat
2. Monyet, backside shot in hand.
Nice.
All
Satu lagi, satu lagi.
bit of a surprise.
Nice.
Mind Freak arrives, comes out from screen. Paper X.
Apa yang
They're
Vesa
gonna
itu?
convert yet another
Bukan
bonus.
Vesa, bukan mounting.
And they're bringing the chaos
Ya, gue pengen
back.
pakai
I
mounting
love
sih.
it. I mean,
Ntar kalau udah dua monitor, gue pengen pakai
don't
mounting sih.
expect that, right? Sure, you see the outlaw, you chase it down. It did
Siapa
seem
tuh?
like Meteor was
Selamat
so
datang.
wary of the shorty standing
Dan
by.
di
They're trying to chase
oh bukan ya, kecewa
and
gue.
then you think you cleared it all. Monyet still
Kalau
one more
David ada
final boss
L-nya dia.
behind the
Pikiran
map.
duit.
And now Paper X so close, and this outlaw's going to continue to find value, and they've been doing
Kenapa
the
lu
same
pindah
thing
ke
with
AP, Dok?
Sunset against Gen G as well. They just keep rolling with it.
Yep.
Paling
Time
ada
to
yang
way
main.
out front. Be a hell of a shot to try to stop this one, but I mean, he covers fire there from something.
Nice.
So Monyet getting
Halo,
it.
siapa?
Will be taken down.
Dulu
Cleared
Revan,
out.
halo Revan.
Like stranded in ramen.
Ya apa? Andivan. Siapa sih? Siapa namanya?
Ada yang. Iya,
Hah?
emang Revan.
Iya, Revan yang
Back
Revan.
as
Jadi
well. And it's
Ya,
things
Andivan,
like this
Andivan.
that'll really
Revan,
start
halo
to
Revan.
make you question your understanding of the economy.
Pan.
Because obviously some rounds you just can't help it, but how many of those rounds are you willing to make happen? Because of course, you might have your own set plays with some rifles, maybe with shotguns, things like that, but the moment you buy that half armor, it just feels bad. Got sight.
Yep. Saw enough of each other there, and Monyet wisely backing away, knows that a clean shot to the chest will take him down.
Na, 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 na.
The weapon recovered. We'll see if Munchkin can deal any additional
Oh.
damage here. Working his way out, but as he stands up, it's right into the crosshair, and Forsaken will be able to find Karen trying to enter in from garage. 12-4, Paper X. Clearly not flustered whatsoever with the loss on Ascent, feeling right at home with this triple duelist.
Yep, everyone putting up the numbers they need, playing the role that they need to. Obviously, some of these long-range duels really assisting the scoreline for something in Forsaken. But they're also kind of the main ones that are creating a lot of these distractions. I mean, now and then it's a division between that Jet and the Rays. But once it comes to that defense, just one more round is all they need. And now it's an operator.
Just one more round.
Texture jumping forward, gets himself past that outlaw.
Toxin screen down.
Anjir ada outlaw, ada OP.
Really rush in and take it down. They're also wary about that covering fire that could be there backing it up. But look at this line. You know, the timing.
Timingnya.
Barely off to try to be able to find the kills. Flash still there. Ticket going to be taken out. Mind Freak fighting one. Monyet getting the other. TP in the backside. Showstopper comes in.
Oh,
Monyet
dapat.
blowing
Itu
Karen to
main
smithereens. Finds the kill. Munchkin on the
Aduh.
rope somehow winning out that fight. But
Gavai kan lagi busuk ya. Wow.
something will
Anjir keren banget coy nyala. Jersinya keren banget. Jersinya keren banget.
13-5 loss on
Infokan tempat beli jersey perek, guys.
Tokbet.
KW nggak?
KW.
Absolutely do. And I
Enggak,
love the
ada
confidence that both teams are bringing
di
out
ini
on the
official
picks that they
merchandise
chose.
mereka
When
yang
it first
official itu.
started, obviously at the very beginning of kickoff,
Ada
you're just not
website-nya.
quite sure how
Ini
each other will
headquarter
look.
shop.
You're trying to gauge each other's power level.
Masa harganya cuma 115.000?
You get caught off guard a little bit and that takes you down
Murah
a little
banget
bit.
jersinya.
Now we've had the tape, especially plenty of it
Ya udah,
over from
beli.
Gen G.
Nggak, masa jersey ori harganya segini?
Official kan itu?
Enggak, bukan official.
Cari yang official coba.
Nggak ada.
Ada website.
Official pasti di paling atas, nggak ada.
Enggak, bukan di Tokbet. Coba
Iya,
cari
website-nya,
website official.
PaperX shop.
Iya.
Lah, ongkirnya mahal anjing dari Singapura.
Ya itu.
Sold out, sial.
Ya mau rame beli.
Anjing hoodie hitam polos aja $60 bangsat. Scam macam apa lagi nih? Anjing. Poster harganya $20. Lu mau bangsat. PRX Seoul Mission Hoodie 2024 edition $90. Lu yang bener aja tote bag cuma $25. Cuma tote bag harga $25 yang bener aja. Topi harganya $34. Wah, speechless gua. $34 SDG.
Instills a bit of fear into players like Texture. If he's trying to off, suddenly dimensional drift is a foot and right in front of you. You start to feel a bit shaken, and that
Nggak ada
happens
benernya,
for several
Cong.
rounds until Coach Solo calls 2 timeouts.
Speechless, gua
And then
speechless.
you start to see some adjustments coming in. They start to set up for retakes. They start to play, really far back.
Ya ini make sense sih kalau orang beli KW.
For Gen G's Guardians right now, the way that they shoot is so sharp sometimes that you actually see PaperX players kind of whiffing for a second or two. I mean, Karen's still a very, very outstanding player, really scary to play against. But then again, once you go into that second half, Monyet started to show up. Monyet started to have some crazy movements and ways to kind of hold down the site or play in that retake. So PaperX just making quick work of Gen G for this one. But again, kind of like you said, Paper Thin just not having enough time to prep.
Yeah, I mean Munchkin is so sharp and that's the
Oh
guy
iya,
we're
gua masih
talking
mau install
about,
ulang
the Guardian.
Windows.
Even on an eco round, and he could turn the tides of a round. A couple of these wins here that they have.
Ntar deh gue install ulang Windows dulu deh, nggak beres-beres ntar. Nggak beres-beres ntar kalau gue nggak install ulang Windows. Udah, ntar deh.